Hey guys, tmanplays here with another Warno ranked game for you today. And today we're playing as the 24th Infantry Division, one of the new divisions recently added to the game. And we're versus Royce, who is playing the 1st Armored Division. So, right off the bat, I want to make sure he doesn't get any of his forward deploy stuff in my zone. So I plan to use 2 Cobras just to kind of fly over and make sure that doesn't happen. Does have a tornado that at least doesn't kill one of my Cobras there, but gonna go ahead and lower the altitude of this one behind the trees there. Keep him alive as our other Cobra is now providing uh, the use case of keeping these vehicles out of my zone. So really nice job there. Tornado though does come right back around. Damages the other one, so gotta pull this guy back now as well. But my infantry has made it into the zone. A lot of military police units I have kind of going all over the place. Same thing with these little ITO Jeeps, the National Guard versions. These guys get really good suppression. So if you just kind of park these guys behind your heavy armor, you can actually do a lot of damage with those. I did go ahead and move this recon up here just to make sure he didn't really put anything there. On the left-hand side, I just have an engineer dragon, just kind of sitting in this building, watching these kind of key roads to make sure he's not going to sneak by me. And then my military police now going to be helping to deal with the Milan 2 there. And then the fire support from my tanks, as well as the 2 squads of military police I have here. Dropping the cohesion of these Terrier Paras quite a bit. Going to allow me to really finish those guys off. And, well, we see a lot of tanks now coming in from his side. So going to start retreating some of my military police. We at least have a really good foothold here. My tank's just going to go ahead and push up a little bit further. And, well, gotta worry about these Gazelle rockets. I do have the double chaparrals here, but I don't want these Gazelles to get free shots on all my infantry. So just going to pull back a little bit further into the town. Maybe get a Stinger up here later, as I am going to go ahead and start pushing up these chaparrals. You can see, though, my tow jeeps pushing up to help deal with the Chieftain Mark 11s here. One of them does get taken out by a Milan 2. And I'm pushing forward my military police here just to help finish off that Milan 2, which they're going to be able to do there. Chaparral gets a nice hit on a Gazelle rocket. And, well, trying to deal with these Chieftain Mark 11s as the ITO Jeep. Going to get a nice hit there, stun that guy up. Do need to pull back my command tank, though, because health there getting a bit low. But we're just firing away with our ITOs, trying to get rid of his recon there. I was really hoping this last one can hit. Turns out another miss there, so another one of our tow jeeps goes down. We got 1 missile left on this one. And will this get us the kill? Yes, it will. So another Chieftain Mark 11 down. And, well, going to pull back my military police, heal those guys back up, trying to find the kill on the SAS patrol here. But I am out of recoilless rifle rounds, so not going to be able to finish that guy off. And then there's that Stinger that I ordered in preparation for the next wave of Gazelle rockets. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pull back my military police, defend the front with the other military police. Patrol guy is going to go a little bit further back to eventually try and resupply. On the left-hand side, nothing changed. I still have just the Engineer Dragon and a CV in my rear. And then I did heal up my command tank. I got another M1 IP up. And our 2 Cobras that we kind of saved from that initial tornado are now back to full HP, so that I can use those kind of later on when I need them.
Be careful. Enemies nearby.
But right now, we're just kind of both building up forces, and then trying to figure out what he's doing with these warriors. I do at least have some scouts up here, so I'm able to see a lot of his units that are starting to come in. Gonna go ahead and bring up these Cobras to maybe deal with some of these armed rifles that are pushing my direction. See what he has for A as well. As with a double chaparral here, I don't really think he's going to be comfortable flying the tornado over my line. I'm also getting some more little ITO Jeeps So they're pretty cheap at 50 points. You basically get a pretty decent ITO with 50% accuracy, 48% technically, but we'll round up. And gonna take a javelin shot there, so got to pull this guy back. Another javelin shot for the other Cobra, so trying to pull him back as well. But he is going to end up going down. M1IP trying to deal with the other Chieftain Mark 11 here. As our other two toes now going to start to fire, force him to smoke. And we get our logistics to start repairing all these military police. So another ITO goes down. We do at least get another nice hit on a Chieftain Mark 11 there. So now I'm pushing up my command tank, as well as another M1IP in a pretty decent position there. He's got P4 of his own, though, to basically rival these ITOs. He's also got Milan 2 in the back there. Do get another Chieftain Mark 11, though, so that's another great kill for me. So I'm pretty happy to keep taking these engagements. Just smoke off whenever I need to, and then send my tanks back to resupply. Also, got an ITO now up in this building. Really great sidelines to be able to deal with some of these warriors. See, another P4 goes down there as I now have recon up to really scout what all's firing at me. And well, the 3 stack of M1 IPs here gonna do a really nice job of just clearing up all these units. On the bottom side, still just slowly getting some units here and there, but nothing has been spotted here. It's all just a fight over this top zone for now, as I'm trying to kick him out so that I can defend this and then put all my effort into the bottom left. But military police going to be moving up to try and deal with the SAS patrol. Going to try and swing these tanks around to get some really good hits on that SAS patrol. And then going to be moving back these scouts a bit because they're under fire from the warrior there. But moving the scouts up as well to figure out what's in these buildings so that all my armor and fire support can really do a lot of damage there. Chaparral going to be trying to fire at the Gazelle rocket there. Can't quite find the hit though. But you can just see I have a ton of numbers here, just slowly kind of pushing them out of my zone. As we spot another SAS patrol here. So all my M1 IPs going to be able to deal with that. Also have even more ITO jeeps just showed up, so that whenever I kind of push them out of the zone, I can move up those ITOs to keep everything at range. Does get one of my supplies right there with this Chieftain Mark 11. But now I've got the military police basically in control of those buildings. My ITOs in good positions to keep out the Challenger Mark 2s. I'm shifting over to M1 IPs to basically deal with this Mark 11. Because in a 2v1, should win that every time. See a Javelin just pushing out upon the open there. Military police going to be in a good position to take that out. And well, just kind of shifting around everybody, trying to get some recon up to really spot all these tanks so that my ITOs can keep doing hits like that. Even though it only does 1 damage, it is going to at least stress them out, force them to pull that back. And well, another Javelin LML here, so that's going to be nice food for the military police. See my other little ITO jeeps now. Gonna push up as soon as I take out that Javelin LML so that we can just keep out these Challenger Mark 2s. Because Challenger Mark 2 is actually pretty scary, as it has the 20 penetration, 20 front armor. Max range there, good accuracy compared to an M1 IP. You know, we have 3 less front armor, 3 less penetration on our gun. So it's not really a fight we want to take over long range. We want to just leave that to the tow vehicles. As my other IPs now going to be kind of pushing up through this side to maybe deal with some of those warriors that are still in this area. See my ITOs getting some really nice hits on this Challenger Mark II, forcing him to pull back again. So another really nice hit there, kind of stuns him up. forcing him to basically use smoke and keep kind of staying in this area. So on the top side, you can see now bringing in some military police and military patrol to basically start to somewhat scout this zone, because I am feeling somewhat comfortable with my position here. Even though the Challenger Mark IIs are a little scary, you can see I'm going to go ahead and pull back those M1 IPs because that isn't really an engagement I want to take. So we're going to keep pulling these back to repair them. But our toes doing a nice job of just keeping the cohesion on these tanks low, forcing him to kind of stay back. And then I'm going in for the kills when I need to try and finish off his tanks. So another Ito coming for his other Challenger Mark II. Gotta force a route on that. So we're doing a good job of kind of keeping him pinned, which is allowing me to kind of build up my forces here. I did go ahead and get a scout as well on this right-hand side, just to make sure no shenanigans are happening around my line, since that is a spawn zone in the top right. But we're just slowly pushing him further and further back. And then I'm making sure to keep some supplies close to this so that I can just keep firing these toes. So you can just see they just keep firing. That's one of the main strengths of 24th. Do get a nice logistics vehicle there. Also another nice hit from an Ito infantry unit that I put in this little front building here. Do unfortunately lose an M1 IP there because I wasn't really paying attention. So I just bought a bunch of units up to the top there. You can see all his P4s now trying to fire back, which he is going to find some kills. We do at least return the favor. But basically just a lot of ATGMs firing across the open here, as I did get another Ito to basically help with this, because the regular Ito, at least infantry version, will have the 60% accuracy compared to the 48% with this, even though it doesn't show it on this card. And then we're going to go ahead and push ahead with our military patrol, try and deal with these scimitars. Do have the Cobra in support as well, to try and just go ahead and get this zone so that I can feel more comfortable about pushing this top area. But he's going to smoke off, pull back some more, and well, I'm just ordering a lot of engineer dragons. I've got some M1 IPs, getting my AA up now, and then I'm going to plan to basically push in to this zone. So just scouting ahead with my Cobra, the M1 IP support, and the military police there. Unfortunately, does have some AA here that just tagged my Cobra. And well, he's destroyed this building, so now I've got to pull the Ito back to the next building. All the engineer dragons that I just ordered going to go to these front buildings to basically act as kind of a defensive line in case my push doesn't work. That way I at least have something defending the area. And now it's just kind of a little stalemate. He has a 42-point advantage over me, so not enough to win as it currently stands. It is a draw. Still 26 minutes left, though. And you can see I'm just continuously building my forces on this left-hand side because I'm pretty comfortable with my position here. I don't think he's really going to be trying to push into here too much more, although he does still have the Challenger Mark IIs here. So I do feel he does have quite a strong tank presence behind my line here. We just saw the SAS patrol, so he is trying to continuously scout this area. And well, we find our first engagement on the left. I'm going to be using these M67s, try and deal with the scimitar. Find at least one hit there. Looking for one more. And sure enough, kill another scimitar. So now these guys can kind of lock off this open area there. Still have my mortars showing up, and well, would you look at this, a lot of military patrol units. These guys are actually really good for 15 points. You get a 5-string squad with a medium machine gun. very, very cost efficient unit. So this is going to be my main kind of thrust into his objective. As soon as these mortars kind of get to where I want them to go, we're going to smoke this zone just to kind of block this off from any ATGMs, as I'm going to plan just to get those infantry guys straight through there. Do see another Chieftain Mark 11 trying to make its way into my side there, but I already have an M1IP in position. I also have another ITO that's going to be able to kind of zone that area off. Sure enough, find another kill there. And then we're just pulling back our tanks to repair. Other ITO going for this Challenger Mark II. Finds another nice hit to stun him up. Just kind of continuously forcing him to keep those repaired and far away. And you can see the smoke now coming in. So one smoke, or one mortar going to be tasked with smoking this area. The other mortar going to be tasked with smoking off a wall here, so that I can get these infantry through without any issue. So I'm just letting those fire for a bit, leaving my infantry in the rear. I have the tank support to basically follow up the infantry. I also have the AA support to follow that up as well. Ito is still doing a great job of keeping all his units away here. As now I'm feeling comfortable, so sending up half of my military police through this way. The other half are going to go straight down into this part of his zone.
Well done, guys. Out of ammo.
Ito's here. You can at least see the Challenger Mark II there. Gonna force him to smoke off again. And well, the only thing we're really lacking here is recon. Could have used some recon here or here to really help kind of spot some of this. But overall, still in a good spot. He does obviously have some SAS patrol somewhere in here because he can see these Itos. So he does get the one there. But we have this really big attack going on this side. A lot of military police just flooding his zone. The only thing I kind of forgot here is I didn't bring any AT with me. So all these military patrol units don't have AT. So I didn't really have it in my deck either. I've since added some AT4s to help with future pushes like this. But we at least got in his zone. It's just we're getting torn to shreds by the scimitar because we don't have any AT to deal with this. So I kind of pushed up my dragons to maybe find a shot on this, but can't quite find the angle. And while I've pushed up my M1 IPs to really lock down the corner of the zone so that this command tank can get in here and really start putting the pressure and the tick. As we see, our opponent has some mortars of his own that he's going to be using to hit where my infantry just came in. I'm just trying to run away the military police from the scimitar. I'm also moving in some fire team laws to try and deal with this. Even though the AT isn't that great, and you do get reduced accuracy with them, that's at least something. It's at least some kind of AT. And finally, he moves it where my dragons can hit. And we at least find one hit. Looking for the second. Not going to be able to quite find it because, well, now we've got a Challenger Mark II to deal with, which he is going to smoke. Chaparral at least deals with one of the Gazelle rockets. And while I'm trying to move up these National Guard Bradleys on the right-hand side here to really kind of capture the edge of his zone. Engineer Dragon, so doing a decent job of just keeping his tanks back, soaking up a lot of the fire. And now I'm going to move my little 4 M1 IPs to try and engage this Challenger Mark II. Do see a bomber come in, which is going to actually do a lot of damage there to my tanks. But I got my command coming in now. Gonna help to upvet these all the way as they're looking for the kill on that Challenger Mark II. Not gonna be able to really find it though. And well, we gotta watch out for this Milan that just tagged us. Do at least get our command in the zone, which puts us at a +2. Nothing really happening on the right-hand side. It's all just about this push on the left. So I'm moving across some military police now to help kind of control my foothold here. And I'm trying to get these buildings captured so that I can get rid of these Milans that are going to be able to hit me from the side. To at least get a nice side shot on that Challenger Mark II there. Smoke off before that Milan 2 hits us, but unfortunately we take a side shot ourselves. And well, the double bomber there going to destroy my M1 IP. Chaparral at least gets one hit, but overall we kind of lost a lot from that. It worked out somewhat well, but I feel like overall that push didn't exactly go to plan. I have a bunch of National Guard with Bradleys now. National Guard going to be moving into these buildings. The Bradley's going to be able to try and keep the Challenger Mark IIs back. And I'm just trying to hold kind of the corners of this town. As my Bradley's going to open up, forcing him to smoke again. Now we're just trying to smoke off all these heavy tanks that he has here so that I can get in close and do a lot of damage that way. As another one of my Bradley's going to go down. M1 IP at least finds a side shot there on a Challenger Mark II, but he does end up escaping. M1 IP gets hit pretty hard there from the Milan 2 and the Challenger. So trying to pull this guy back now to keep him alive for future repairs. Thankfully some smoke lands, which is going to save us. But we have been kicked out of the zone. We at least see Challenger Mark II there. Military police gets a nice side shot there. Unfortunately, we miss with the M1 IP, but then we get a spalling hit and actually destroy the Challenger Mark II with the military police. So that was really nice. All our National Guard infantry now getting really close to that Milan 2 para. Also moving across some recon from the middle. I did kind of want to transfer some of my armor from this side into the left, but I wasn't sure if he still had the tank wall here. So I kind of wanted just to keep those in reserve, as this is still going somewhat okay. We've got another MP leader here. It's going to be able to get me back at a +2. And I still have 2 Abrams, even though they are pretty badly damaged. We're getting those healed up. But overall, I feel like I can still kind of control this corner of the zone. I've captured this area. I'm keeping his heavy tanks at bay. So I'm feeling pretty good. Again, we're lacking some serious AT here, so all this scimitar is just going to absolutely trash me. And well, that's going to tell me I need to move up my Abrams a bit to protect this MP leader. But just trying to make his heavy tanks as useless as possible with the smoke there. So just continuously smoking that off. My other M1 IP decided to shift over to the right to maybe hit the scimitars there. To at least get another 3 of them killed off. And well, we got Engineer's Dragons now moving into the town to basically just kind of have something in here to prevent him just from getting infantry to the edge and finding my command. I do take out a Jaguar rocket there. And well, my supply finally gets here, so going to be able to heal up this Engineer Dragon there to really help deal with stuff like the Warriors or Scimitars or even tanks if they push up. I can just do some continuous stun damage over time. National Guard just firing at the scouts with the Law 80. Also able to see 2 Milan 2 paras there. M150 can be trying to fire at these transports, at least find a good hit. But knowing that I don't have any close range AT, my only close range AT are these National Guard fire team laws. I'm having to send those in, which isn't the best option in this situation, but it's at least doing okay for now, as it gives me a pretty good IFV and provides me with bad AT, but at least some AT. I'm also going to purchase my first Strike Eagle and try and take out some of these more heavy tanks here. And I'm moving my CV around from this corner to here. So that's a little bit more protected. So we see his tank now with the Strike Eagle. It does disappear though. But we can actually still see where his tank is. So just target right there. And sure enough, we end up getting a Challenger Mark II. Pulling back this tank to repair. Double chaparral there.
Good job,
Going to
guys.
be trying to deal with the Tornado F3. Double chaparral from this side. Also get some shots off, and that's a dead F3.
Ryan, get down. I've got him.
See my laws moving up, trying to deal with these warriors.
This is Red 2.
Fortunately, not doing a whole lot. Just getting melted by the autocannon fire there. Already stunned up.
Sergeant Highway.
But we're at least holding the ground. We're still at the +2. We've got a healthy advantage now. We've got more fire team dragons coming in. These ones with the better penetration dragon 2. So I'm just going to plan to put these all throughout the tree line there. And then deal with the tanks that way. Another Harrier bomber goes down. And well, I've got enough tanks here to kind of help fire at all this. I'm also getting an ITO here now so that we can hit stuff like the Challenger Mark II. I did lose my foothold here because it was just a bunch of National Guard stuff that was holding. And well, another Strike Eagle coming in for the other Challenger Mark II. Does go ahead and fire. And well, that's another dead Challenger Mark II. Really nice kill there. As we're just basically spamming a bunch of dragons at him.
Well done, guys.
Trying to find some hits on all these tanks. A lot of misses there, though. And well, I got some National Guard M109s. So going to be trying to hit his command tank now. He does bomb some of my infantry there, but not really great value out of that, as that's another plane down. Still nothing happening on the right-hand side. And we're just trying to protect this as long as possible. Keep this lead, as there's just under 13 minutes left.
One less copy.
So trying to get as many points as possible before he can push me out of here. Artillery going to start to land where that command tank was.
Get down.
And well, you can see all my dragons opening up as soon as they spot his Challenger Mark II. He does have some Terrier Paras coming towards me, so I'm going to move these guys to the right to help engage that. But our opponent there going to actually just end up calling it there. As we did trade pretty well. Our opponent currently ranked number 4 in the game. I believe he was ranked 3 whenever I played him. But you can see, very solid opponent. And changed his name since I played him. This was his name when I played him. Now his name is Rework UK Divs, Most Bland, and blah, blah, blah. So advocating for the UK now. Very interesting. But basically our strategy worked pretty well of just using our armor and then supporting it from the rear with all the ITOs. Just kind of having a bunch of toes everywhere. That's kind of the way you play this division. And then you just spam out a bunch of military police. And yeah, it worked out pretty well. From our opponent's side, his challengers were very scary. He was able to get some good kills with those, but he just really couldn't get beyond the tow range really with these. So we kind of kept him at bay until they switched over to that right-hand side. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that one, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later, guys.